Okay, just wrapping things up. Wanted to set up our core beliefs here. Remember, we're refusing to be sick by eating a lazy keto diet. No bread, rice, pasta, potatoes, or sugar. As far as what we do eat, we eat lots of vegetables. We eat lots of meat. All meat, all seafood is totally fine. All eggs, totally fine. Lots of good protein sources. Chickpeas are a great way to try and get protein in. There's actually a chickpea pasta called No, K-N-O-W pasta that you can buy online. A couple things that I used in the very beginning when I was getting started and trying to continue this weight loss was I got this keto diet book, and this was like my Bible for a while. It talks about the different kinds of keto. It particularly talks about lazy keto, and then there's so many recipes in here. Don't get too wrapped up in it. Just look for recipes and start trying things. Remember, be careful with fruit. Fruit has a place as a dessert. It's not, don't eat like 5 apples in a day. You know, be careful with your like really, really sweet ones, like your oranges and your watermelons and that kind of thing. Try and stick to berries if you can. This talks a lot about like full-on keto versus classic keto versus lazy keto, grains and dairy. They talk a lot about going dairy-free. I don't completely agree. If you can handle dairy, then it's okay, you know? And that's just kind of a personal thing. Anyways, this has a lot of really great tips and tricks, and it talks about what to expect when you're starting to go keto, how to get rid of the keto flu, which shouldn't be a problem because we're not going full-on keto. Full-on keto, you could get the keto flu and you will feel like trash and you won't want to continue. And it's really your body going through some kind of like withdrawal. I went through it, and I went through it not willingly. Like, it was bad, and I didn't have any option but to continue to go forward, and I felt really sick, and I don't want that for any of you. So that's why we're doing lazy keto. We're not going into this whole fat burning, fat bomb type of thing. That's just not what we do. That's not what I'm teaching you, and I don't believe in that. But it does talk about how to infuse ingredients and that kind of thing, a bunch of different seasonings. She gives you all these seasoning mixes. Remember, just buy it out of a bottle. Just be done. Buy it out of a bottle. Anyway, talks about like muffins, how to make muffins while you're keto. Lots of really good ingredients, stuff that I've done, like the salt and pepper chicken wings that I've made. They're awesome. Talks about keto lemonade that I've made so many times. Bacon soup. But this is a good book. I feel like this is the book that kind of got me through some of my hurdles, and when I was starting to get really bored and I just didn't know what to do with myself. But I'm hoping that this YouTube channel can kind of be a cheat sheet way so that you don't have to go through all the struggles that I went through. You're going to struggle with some stuff, I'm not going to lie, but I hate for you to go through some of the really bad struggles that I had to go through because I just didn't know what I was doing. So, meats, all okay. It's fine, as much as you want. My grill is ridiculous when we grill. I usually grill at least 2 or 3 different kinds of meat and some kind of seafood with multiple different vegetables all on the grill at the same time. And then I usually bake a potato or 2 or do some kind of like small little carb for the kids and my husband because they'll go nuts. But my husband, when you put shrimp and fish and steaks and hamburgers and all this kind of stuff in front of him with vegetables, he doesn't even miss the carbs. He has no idea. This is a good idea of like bread. So I want to address these things just real quick by category. Bread. What do I do because I can't have bread? Use lettuce. Or these tacos. It's just lettuce. Just use lettuce. Or a low carb wrap. You know? Or a zucchini. Like hollow out a zucchini and put whatever you want in it and put it in the oven. Or a pepper. Take a bell pepper and hollow it out and cook it with, you know, pasta stuff inside. You know, I love cheese, and I love like stuffed shells, and so I do stuffed peppers instead. So anyway, use a vegetable instead. So lettuce would be your number 1 go-to. Just grab a bunch of romaine, and that would be your go-to for bread. Or the low carb wraps. I really like the extreme wellness one if you're gonna have to get any of them at all. Again, it's a gateway for me to get in trouble, so I just completely avoid it. But if you can't avoid it, you can't avoid it. Just is what it is. Just do better, okay? That's bread. Rice. What do I do for rice? Cauliflower rice. That's about all I got for that. Cauliflower rice. And I would put it in like a recipe. I wouldn't eat it with just like a fork, you know? There just isn't anything good about rice. If you have to mix it, like quinoa, I guess would be okay. Maybe quinoa and cauliflower rice. Just don't get out of hand with it. Mix it into other things, like make meatballs or something like that. That's bread, rice, pasta, zucchini noodles, summer squash noodles, zoodles. You can get a handheld crank thing that does like a one serving. You can get a big old thing like I've got, and you just shove the things down in it, just spiralizes it, and you can make massive quantities of it. It doesn't matter, just spiralize it somehow. Or you can shave zucchinis really thin and you can roll them into like rolls if you wanted to make like lasagna or something like that. So pasta, your substitute is going to be zucchini most of the time. Or chickpea pasta through that K-N-O-W Foods. They have chickpea elbow pasta, bow ties, and I think a couple other ones. They're kind of pricey, but they do run really great specials, so you could try that. So bread, rice, pasta, potatoes, turnips, parsnips, sweet potatoes, and radishes, or where you're gonna hang out on that. Any kind of a root vegetable, carrots. Just cook parsnips, turnips, radishes the way you normally would have cooked your potatoes. Watermelon radishes are amazing. They're really pretty, and they soak up and taste like whatever you put on them. So if you put some kind of Cajun seasoning with olive oil on them and brush them, put them on the grill, they're gonna taste like that. But they're really, really pretty. Look for the stuff that's different, you know? Parsnips and turnips are really great, just sauteed in butter. Throw some onion in there, fine. So that's potatoes. Bread, rice, pasta, potatoes, sugar. Sugar. You're going to use those ones that I showed you from the pantry. If you need sugar, you're just going to avoid it. You're going to do your best to avoid it. Just do better as far as sugar goes. Try and use other sweeteners, like the stevia stuff, and go from there. You won't crave it after a while, but in the beginning you're gonna crave it, and I understand that. Just look at your labels, make sure everything's less than 5. Try really hard to get everything less than 5 grams of sugar. A couple other books that I wanted to show you. So this is the Keto Diet. Got an Amazon, it's huge. We have an air fryer, and I've put parsnips and turnips in that before and made really good stuff. There's some cute recipes in here for like shrimp and chicken wings and that kind of stuff. The stuff's all fine for you. It even comes with like a giant like cookbook. This is what I have, the Veggie Bullet. This thing's a beast. I love it. But anyway, it talks about all these different recipes that you can use by using it. It chops, it dices, it slices, and it spiralizes. And there's a lot of really great ingredients in here. This is your typical just zucchini noodle that you're trying to make. That's all you're trying to do. And then you just saute it in a pan just to get it warm a little bit. You can do carrots too. And I actually do sweet potatoes and I spiralize them. And then I throw them on a sheet pan and make curly fries. And parsnips and turnips and radishes too. And I let the kids participate in all that. They're the ones that are shoving the stuff down. And then they're the ones shoving it on. And then they'll eat it, you know. So that's the Veggie Bullet. That's what I have. This guy. Wanted to share that with you. All right, go out into the world. Low carb, one day at a time. Comment below how you're doing.